Good morning, everyone. So, my name is Taylor Robinson, and I am a graduate student in the psychology department at the University of West Georgia. I'm working on my master's thesis right now, and that's what I'll be presenting today. And I'm under the supervision of Dr. Christine Simmons Moore and Dr. Jacob Glazier. I appreciate you all taking the time to join me today as I share my research on exploring the phenomenon of voice hearing and the processes in which individuals, particularly mediums with clairaudient abilities, manage and control their experiences with disembodied voices. My research is aiming to deepen our understanding of voice hearing within a Western society that predominantly operates under the psychiatric medical model. It seeks to address gaps in the existing literature, particularly in how mediums maintain control over their experiences, either by inviting in these anomalous disembodied voices or by building mental boundaries to block out unwanted or unwelcome voices that may cause these mediums distress. This study will be a qualitative study involving mediums as participants, as I've mentioned, and it has the potential to inform therapeutic and clinical practices. The findings could provide voice hearers who have been stigmatized with the tools and techniques developed by experienced mediums to improve their quality of life and reclaim control over what may have been lost due to pathologization of their experiences. So today I'll be discussing the background of my research, the specific problem I'm addressing, the methodology I'll be using, and what I hope to contribute to the field through this study. And as it's still in process, I don't have results today, but I will just go through what I anticipate will be the results. So for time's sake, I'm just going to touch on the main focus literature pieces that I focused on that truly really brought me to this subject and made me want to research it more. For some individuals, auditory experiences or voice hearing can be persistent and distressing. However, mental mediums who have developed the ability to regulate the timing and the nature of these experiences demonstrate that control over such phenomenon can lead to an enhanced quality in life. This control appears to be linked with a reduction in distress typically associated with hearing voices, suggesting that the ability to manage auditory experiences is crucial for the well-being and emotional resilience of those who encounter them. Because of the unique quality that mediums have possess and have built over time, it allows them to function within a Western society without their experience being pathologized and labeled as a symptom of a disorder or a mental illness. Dr. Elizabeth Roxborough and Dr. Chris Rowe have conducted multiple studies on the lived experiences of mediums. One study specifically addresses the reframing of voice hearing phenomenon. Roxborough and Rowe note that researchers compared psychiatric voice hearers with mediums and found that the latter viewed their voices as more benevolent and engaged more with them. This suggests that mediums present as an ideal group to explore how voices might be managed in a way that has therapeutic implications for voice hearers more generally. So this brings us to the specific problem that my research aims to address. While numerous studies have explored voice hearing, often through quantitative methods, there is a noticeable gap in the literature regarding the specific strategies or techniques used by these experienced mediums. These techniques, if identified, could be applied in clinical settings to reduce distress for voice hearers and offer them the choice to engage or not to engage with disembodied voices. This research is crucial because it not only deepens our understanding of voice hearing phenomenon within the mediumship community, but it also provides valuable insights for those experiencing psychiatric voice hearing experiences. By learning the techniques used by mediums, individuals could potentially reduce the stress associated with the voice hearing and regain control over their experiences. With this regained control, they could significantly improve their quality of life and facilitate reintegration into society without the burden of the stigma that's associated with voice hearing. The organization that I'm collaborating with for this is a organization called Very Soul. It is Very Soul is an online network that supports verified evidentiary mental mediums, offering them mentorship, classes, and various other resources to help them develop their abilities and to better understand their experiences. After several discussions with the founder of the organization, Sally Hawk, she has agreed to collaborate and assist in the study as their organization is wanting to break out more into research that they can get into the mainstream, especially in the more Western societies. What this will entail for their part is she has agreed to distribute a flyer such as over here in the corner, and they, excuse me, sorry, the flyer will include a QR code that the mediums within the organization will scan and will direct them to our qualitative survey where we will collect the data from the study. The survey begins, of course, with consent and with a brief description of the study. Once the participants have given their consent, they will proceed to the survey where they will respond to the following prompts. How long have you been experiencing clairaudience? Please describe in detail one of your earliest clairaudient experiences and how you formed a mental boundary when you were ready to end the communication. Please describe a recent clairaudient experience and how you formed a mental boundary when you were ready to end the communication, particularly since you've learned more about mediumship and your personal abilities. And lastly, sorry, my mouth is dry. Are there any specific techniques, tools, or resources you found most beneficial in strengthening your ability to build a mental boundary to control your clairaudient experiences when you're not open to them? We will then analyze these responses using a thematic analysis. Thematic analysis allows us to explore the underlying themes in participants' experiences. Thematic analysis is particularly suited for this study because it operates within a contextualist framework, which acknowledges that while reality exists, our access to it is mediated by sociocultural meanings. In other words, people's words provide insight into their version of reality, and this research will interpret these realities. Through this analysis, we aim to gain a deeper understanding of how these mediums experience voice hearing and how they make meaning of their experiences. I'm going to get a sweet of water. I'm so sorry. Sorry. So, expected outcomes. This approach is particularly suitable because it allows us to uncover the specific techniques used by experienced mediums who have mastered the control of when they are welcome to clairaudient experiences. By comparing their personal progress from their initial experiences when their clairaudient experiences first manifested in comparison to their more current and more refined methods, we can identify the tools and resources that have been instrumental in helping them gain control. This comparison not only sheds light on their evolution, but it also helps us to understand what strategies have been most effective in managing these experiences. If our study achieves these outcomes, it could have profound implication for voice hearers across the spectrum. One significant impact could be the potential to bridge the gap between parapsychology and clinical parapsychology. In Western societies, voice hearers are often stigmatized as dangerous, mentally ill, or crazy, leading to heavy medications and institutionalization that can drastically increase distress. By providing a framework for understanding and managing voice hearing experiences through techniques used by experienced mediums, we hope to offer voice hearers a more supportive and empowering alternative to traditional pathologizing approaches. This could not only improve their quality of life, but also contribute to reducing stigma and enhancing therapeutic practices. So in conclusion, this study is significant because it not only contributes to our understanding of voice hearing within the mediumship community, but also offers potential strategies for reducing stress among those who experience voice hearing in a clinical context. Our findings could help bridge the gap between parapsychology and clinical psychology, offering new ways to support voice hearers and reduce the stigma associated with their experiences. Currently, what stage we are at is we just went live on Qualitative with our survey, and we are aiming to get about 100 responses. Right now, I think we're at about 60 last time I checked. So soon we should be able to move forward, and we'll start to analyze the data with thematic analysis methods and uncover the themes and patterns in participants' experiences. We hope that this research will provide practical tools and techniques that can be applied in therapeutic settings to improve the quality of life of voice hearers and challenge existing pathologizing perspectives. Thank you so much for your time and attention today, and I look forward to the opportunity to share our findings and contribute to a deeper understanding of voice hearing phenomenon. Thank you.
Thank you, Taylor. So we have about 10 minutes for questions. So would you like to start?
Thank you. I really enjoyed your presentation. Sorry if I missed it. Did you say how the mediums will be recruited? For example, are you differentiating between people who have had these mediumistic abilities along with the voice hearing since they were children, compared to someone, for example, who might have had a near-death experience and then gotten all these mediumistic psychic abilities, sensitivity, and also often the voice hearing that comes along with it?
I actually haven't taken that I actually haven't taken that into account, and that's a very good point. I'll discuss that with Christine and Jake when I get back and see how we can try to accommodate for that differentiation.
Yeah, because
that is an important one. I agree.
Yeah, and at the University of Virginia, sometime this year, we'll probably have a study on voice hearing and near-death experiencers. So there might be an interesting overlap there. But thank you.
Thank you.
I have a question. As far as trying to reach mediums from, say, non-Western societies and who might be practicing because of, cultural, like more ingrained, permeating reasons, are you doing specific efforts to, or be in contact with people like that?
The Very Soul organization is a global organization. Mm-hmm. I believe the last time I checked Sally's, she shared with me their data and their mediums that they have registered. And they have about 2,500 within the organization, and they are from all parts of the world. Mm-hmm. So it's very, very diverse. Mm-hmm. So I'm hoping that I can be able to get some diverse answers since the organization's so diverse.
And this is probably a hard question. Apologies. As far as being able to reach mediums who don't do the registrations or certifications, because that's the majority, of mediums, are you going to employ any methods of trying to reach those people?
I think that I would like for that to be a future study, because I think once I maybe can get this information out and people can resonate with it, especially in a Western society where it is so stigmatized, they'll be more open to freely talking about it and to be able to do more research into how they can, hone their abilities, and maybe they didn't know that's what this voice hearing was. So I'm hoping that this kind of outreaches to help them understand more their experiences.
And sorry for hogging the mic, but yeah, I see a lot of correlations with the near-death experiencers community, because they are very safeguarding of themselves.
Yes.
And obviously a lot of them are voice hearers too. And so it's a lot of gaining trust.
Oh, yes, absolutely.
Any other questions?
Hello.
Hi.
This is a comment, but also a question. So I just wrote it down, sorry.
You're fine.
So I used to hear voices since I was 15, and I asked my dad for help, so he took me to the psychiatry. The voices didn't stop, so I quit taking the medicine. And I made a decision to really listen to the voices and follow the instructions. I have to say that they were saying good things, no bad things. And it wasn't dangerous. So, on the contrary, they were answers to my wonderings, and I usually hear kids. So, I was wondering, like, how can we develop this ability? Like, do you have any method right now, or do you have some tips, or have you gathered some information about how to?
So, some of the prior literature I mentioned by Dr. Chris Rowe and Dr. Elizabeth Roxborough, where the title is called "Reframing Voice Hearing in Mediumship Experiences," and they directly address that specific experience. They explain that leaning into the experience tended to show a pattern of a more benevolent experience, as opposed to those who try to suppress it, who would experience more of the command type, more aggressive voice hearing experiences. So I would recommend reading Dr. Rowe and Dr. Roxborough's mediumship studies, because they are wonderful. They are fantastic for that subject specifically. Yes, reframing voice hearing. And there's another one called from whence this. Ooh, I have it on my reference page. Hold on. Those are the names that right there.
Thank you.
Yes. Yeah, we actually provide that at the end of our survey for our participants too. There's a lot of good resources on the voicehearingnetwork.org.
Any other questions, comments, concerns? Great. So thank you.
Thank you.